Daf Yomi, tractate Shavuot, or Shevuos, page Gimel, Amud B, page 3, Amud Beis. There's a good mix match over there. Gimel, Amud Beis, 3B. Top of the page, the words, Aha Dumya Dimarot Negaim Kitani. Uma Hatimukuli Lechiyuva, Hacha Namikuli Lechayuva. But the Mishnah teaches these cases similar to the different shades of leprous marks, of Negaim, which indicates that just as there, all four of them are shades for which there is liability to bring an offering, so too here with regard to oaths and the cases of one's awareness of the defiling of the temple or its sacrificial foods, all four of them are cases for which there is liability to bring an offering. Le'olam Rabbi Ishmael, v'chi lo mechayev Rabbi Ishmael l'she'avar korban, aval malkos chayovim v'chayav. The Gemara suggests a different solution. Actually, the Mishnah expresses the opinion of Rabbi Ishmael. And while Rabbi Ishmael does not deem one liable for oaths pertaining to the past, that is only with regard to liability to bring an offering. But he does deem one liable to be administered lashes. Lashes. Chidrava de'amarave b'feirush ripta. Toira Shevuos sheker dumya de Shevuos shav. Ma Shevuot l'she'avar av sheker nami l'she'avar. And this is in accordance with the opinion of Rava, as Rava says. The Torah explicitly amplifies the prohibition of taking a false oath to be similar to the prohibition of an oath taken in vain, to teach that one is flogged for its violation. It follows that just as an oath taken in vain pertains to the past and renders one liable to receive lashes, so too taking a false oath that pertains to the past renders one liable to receive lashes. Bishlomo achalti velo achalti kederovo shelo oichel ve'ochanami lav sheyesh boi maisehu ela oichel velo yachal amai lav sheyesh boi maisehu. The Gemara asks, granted that one who stated, on my oath I ate, but in fact he did not eat, or one who stated, on my oath I did not eat, but in fact he ate, is liable to receive lashes, as this is in accordance with the statement of Rava. And also, if one stated, on my oath I will not eat, and he ate, in violation of his oath, he is liable to receive lashes, as it is a prohibition that involves an action. And in general, such prohibitions are punishable by flogging. But if one stated, on my oath I will eat, and in violation of his oath he did not eat, why should he be liable to receive lashes? It is a prohibition that does not involve an action. The generally accepted principle is that one is not liable to receive lashes for violating a prohibition without performing an action. Kasav Rabbi Ishmael, lav shein boi maaseh loikin alav. The Gemara answers, Rabbi Ishmael disagrees with the generally accepted principle and holds that one is flogged for the violation of a prohibition that does not involve an action. Ihachi kashia de Rabbi Ishmael Rabbi Yochanan. The Gemara challenges, if so, then a difficulty arises between one statement of Rabbi Yochanan and another statement of Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan, halacha kistam Mishnah. As Rabbi Yochanan says, the halacha is always in accordance with the ruling of an unattributed Mishnah. Since the Mishnah here is unattributed and assumes that one is flogged for taking a false oath, Rabbi Yochanan should rule that this is the halacha. V'itmal Shevuos she'ochel kikar zo hayom Rabbi Yochanan v'Reish Lakish Amar Tarvayu Eino Loike. Rabbi Yochanan Amar Eino Loike Mishum Dehavi Lav Shem Boi Maise. V'chol Lav Shem Boi Maise Ein Loike Nolov. V'Reish Lakish Amar Eino Loike Hasros Soveku. V'Hasros Sovek Loi Shmo Hasro. And an Amoraic dispute was stated with regard to one who said, "On my oath, I will eat this loaf today." And the day passed, and he did not eat it. Rabbi Yochanan and Reish Lakish both say he is not flogged for taking a false oath. They disagree with regard to the reason that he is not flogged. Rabbi Yochanan says he is not flogged due to the fact that it is a prohibition that does not involve an action, as he violates the oath by failing to perform an action rather than by performing an action. And the principle is, with regard to any prohibition that does not involve an action, one is not flogged for its violation. And Reish Lakish says he is not flogged because it is an uncertain forewarning, and one cannot forewarn him before he fails to fulfill the oath, because as long as time remains in the day, he can still later eat the loaf and fulfill the oath. And an uncertain forewarning is not characterized as a forewarning. Evidently, Rabbi Yochanan does not rule in accordance with the Mishnah here. Rabbi Yochanan stamach hinashkach. The Gemara resolves the difficulty. Rabbi Yochanan found another unattributed Mishnah, which holds that one is not flogged for a prohibition that one does not involve an action, and he rules in accordance with that Mishnah. Hai stama, ilema hai stama nisnana vala motir betoira, shor betamein loike es harbaim. The Gemara asks, which other unattributed Mishnah did he find? If we say he found this unattributed Mishnah, as we learned in Psachim 84a, but one who leaves over some of the meat of a ritually pure paschal offering until the morning of the 15th of Nisan, and one who breaks a bone of a ritually impure paschal offering, are not flogged with the 40 lashes. That is difficult. Lav mishum dehavi lav shem boi maise, v'chol lav shem boi maise, enoi kinolo. First, the Gemara explains how this Mishnah demonstrates Rabbi Yochanan's opinion. Granted that breaking a bone of an impure paschal offering does not incur lashes, as it is written, nor shall you break a bone in it. Exodus 12:46. The term "in it" indicates that the verse refers only to a valid paschal offering, but not to a disqualified one, such as one that is impure. But in the case of one who leaves over some of the meat of a pure paschal offering, what is the reason he is not flogged? Is it not because it is a violation of a prohibition that does not involve an action? And for a violation of any prohibition that does not involve an action, one is not flogged. Umimai de Rabbi Yaakovi. Damar lav shem boi maise ein loikin olav. Dim Rabbi Udahi mushum de ba kasulitena se achar loisa se halav hachi laki. The Gemara now questions this explanation of the Mishnah. But from where is it apparent that this Mishnah is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Yaakov, who says that for a violation of a prohibition that does not involve an action, one is not flogged? Perhaps the Mishnah is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda, and he holds that the reason the Mishnah rules that one is not flogged is due to the fact that the verse comes to position the positive mitzvah of burning the leftover meat after the prohibition of leaving over the meat, and one is not flogged for the prohibition whose violation obligates one in a positive mitzvah. But were it not for this, one would be flogged despite the fact that it is a prohibition that does not involve an action. Since the unattributed Mishnah is not necessarily in accordance with Rabbi Yaakov's opinion, it cannot be the basis of Rabbi Yochanan's ruling. Tanya, lo yisoisivu mimenu ad boiker, ve'anoisa mimenu ad boiker ve'esh yisoifu, ba'akasu v'tine ase achalo yisase, loima, she'en lo ikilalo, divrei Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yaakov omer, לא מן השם הוא זה, אלא משום דעה ולאו שם בוי מייסה, ולאו שם בוי מייסה לא יקין עליו. The Gemara cites the source of Rabbi Yaakov's and Rabbi Yehuda's opinions, as it is taught in a Braita, and you shall let nothing of it remain until the morning, and that which remains of it until the morning you shall burn it. You shall burn in fire. Exodus 12:10. The verse comes to position the positive mitzvah of burning the leftover meat after the prohibition against leaving over the meat, to say that one is not flogged for its violation. This is the statement of Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yaakov says this is not for that reason. Rather, it is due to the fact that it is a prohibition that does not involve an action, and for a violation of a prohibition that does not involve an action, one is not flogged. Ela haistamashkach Shevuos shelo yochel kigozo Shevuos shelo yochelena ve'achal. Rather, Rabbi Yochanan found this unattributed Mishnah which teaches 27b, if one states, on my oath I will not eat this loaf, and immediately states, on my oath I will not eat it, and then he ate it,